Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're having a great day as I am. Nice to come on this afternoon and wait for a few folks. Nativity, good afternoon. Hope you're doing all right. Okay, here we go. Kathy, hello. Siri is watching. Okay. Nativity and Rosa. Rosa's putting her groceries away. Madeleine, how are you? Anita, Jeanette from our staff. And Mary Jane from Connecticut. Lori, good afternoon. Brenda, nice to have you on. Donna, how are you? Pauline, bonjour. Nick from our staff. Bernice, hope you're doing well. And Ho Hung, how are you? Marin and Louise and Rachel, Fran, Orangeville, Wendy, Markham, hello, and Louise. Nice to have you guys on. Hey, Roma, how you doing? Linda, how are you? Luella, Northwest Tennessee. Joanne, Lynn, Halifax, Diane, Thunder Bay, Monique, and another Donna. Carol Ann, good, from Newfoundland. Kelly, Terry, hope you're well. Catherine, Springdale, Newfoundland. Janet and Deborah, Syracuse, New York. Please, how are you? Dan, how you doing? And Mary, a couple more, we'll get going here. Diane, hope you're doing well. Hello there. Zian or Zelan, David, Bill, Barbara. Okay, Bonnie. Nice to be with you guys. Okay, Barb, how are you? And Norma and Colette and Carrie. Okay, Ray, how is you? Okay, Maria from Cambridge, Kathy. Here's what I'm going to start off with. Who's making muffins there? I missed it. And Bren and Deborah and Susan and Alberta. It's warm, is it? Thea and our dear friend Doc, how are you? And she says, thanks for teaching the class yesterday. They're good students. They really are. Serpa, Deb, Rita, Jane. So yesterday afternoon, I did insulin resistance. We're sort of doing nutrition 101 at the University of Tennessee with my dear friend, Dr. McEwen. Two Northern Ontario folks getting together in Tennessee. Okay, guys. Now, let me make a statement. And I did a little bit of investigative journalism, okay, on my own. Ugh, okay. We all love dessert, right? Put your hand up if you love dessert. Of course we love dessert, okay? Now I try and avoid almost all desserts, okay? Me and desserts don't do well together as much as I love them. But who doesn't love desserts, right? The problem with dessert is when you eat desserts in the morning, okay? And I was going through the grocery store the other day. I had the can't help it because I was going through this cereal section. And I said, man, that is a crime against humanity, especially to children. I think parents have no idea just how bad the situation is. And I don't live on another planet. I fully understand. Like, you got a budget, you have just a certain amount of money, and today with inflation and everything that's going on, I understand that it's not cheap. You want to go to an expensive outing? Go to a grocery store near you. I mean, it's expensive. In the last year there, it's absolutely incredible. But as I went through the cereal section, and then I'm going to tell you what I did after that, but I went to the cereal section. I took out 4 or 5 boxes and I read the label. It wasn't good. It wasn't good. Kids are having dessert for breakfast. That's all. That's what it means. Okay, a couple of that I pulled out. Honey Smacks. Honey. Okay, honey. Well, don't feed your kids that stuff. Honey Smacks from Kellogg's. 56% of the box was sugar. Added sugar. Over half the box. I felt like, like putting my arms out across the section and saying, you cannot come here. This is dangerous. You are going to turn your kid into a diabetic in a short period of time if you feed them Honey Smacks. Raisin Bran. Like, it sounds healthy. Raisin Bran. 16 grams of sugar added. Raisins are pretty sweet. You don't have to add no sugar, but they do. Raisin Bran's 16 added grams of sugar. 4 teaspoons of sugar added. Like, kids don't have a chance today. They don't have a chance today. I couldn't find a cereal that had very little added sugar. And you can be sure kids ain't eating that stuff. Don't kid yourself. I've been railing against cereal for 50 years. It's not good for you. There's, and the reason they push cereal, and they have to put sugar in cereal, otherwise it would taste like cardboard. Kids wouldn't eat it. And they entice the parents with, it's good. It's got a lot of fiber in it. Well, fiber's really overrated, big time, especially if it comes from cereal. Any benefit that you would get at all from fiber is lost on the amount of sugar and carbohydrates that are in there. And you know what they do with cereal? It always drives me crazy. It's fortified. It's so bad nutritionally, they fortify it. Oh, we've added vitamin D, not D3. They add vitamin D2. Guys, you might as well give that to your dog, because human beings do not absorb vitamin D2. You don't absorb it. It's fortified. Those fortified vitamins that they put in there, you're not getting much. Whenever you see something fortified, it's because they took all the nutrition out of it and then figured they better put some of it back. And they put a few vitamins in and that. Guys, it is a tragedy that children, it's a national tragedy that children are fed that kind of stuff. Then I went over to the dairy. Now, you guys know me. I never tell anyone to ditch dairy. I tell them to switch dairy. The problem is when you look at, I decided I'm going to look at a few yogurts. Now, if you get a Greek plain yogurt, there's already 6 to 7 grams on average of sugar. Now, that's not added, guys, okay? It's Greek plain yogurt, okay? I think that's too sweet, even though it's got 7 grams of sugar. It's all lactose. But that's not what kids are eating. Kids don't eat Greek plain yogurt. They wouldn't touch that with a 100-foot pole. If you got a kid eating that stuff, good for you, because it's better than a lot of other stuff. It's Greek, it's plain, it's dairy, but it's got sugar, but that's because yogurt's got sugar, it's got lactose. 7 grams on average that I saw. The problem is kids are not eating that. They're eating, the sugar-laced yogurts. You should have seen the little smoothie yogurts that they can have. Boy, 20, 25 grams of added sugar. And they fool people because, oh, yogurt must be good. Okay, I'm back on that. Someone give me this to make sure you can hear me and see me, okay? I don't know what happened. Apparently my wireless went down for a minute, okay? Everybody lost signal. Louise, am I back on though? I froze, yeah. I saw that. It came up even on my screen. Okay. Everything good? And Anne's saying, yeah, it is better than candies. Nick, okay, everybody's watching. I'm back on. Thank you. Okay, now listen. And Anne is saying something there. I just happened to notice because I was wondering if I'm still off air because sometimes I can't tell. Plain yogurt and put fruit, you do it. I got no problem with that. And I really don't. It's better than giving them cereal, in my opinion. I mean, there is just no cereal worth eating, in my opinion, including oatmeal. Because I didn't hear oatmeal so much from kids. I always laugh a little bit about oatmeal because I used to hear it from the seniors in my office all the time. Well, Dr. Martin, I got to have my oatmeal every morning because if I don't have my oatmeal, I'm not going to go to the bathroom. I heard that a million times. Okay. But guys, this is a big, big problem. We're starting kids out in their lifetime by giving them dessert for breakfast. It starts them, what a terrible path. And as I was explaining to Dr. McEwen's class yesterday, These kids are going to develop insulin resistance. They're going to start, you know what, half the population of kids are already in the obese section of society. But you know what, guys, if we just got bigger, it wouldn't be that bad. We can be bigger, you know. You want to be big? Let's celebrate. It's not that bothers me, guys. It isn't. It's not the fact of obesity. It is diabesity. That's what bothers me. Kids are suffering from diabesity. The problem is simple. It's not complicated. But we're losing the war with our children because of the society in which we live. They're feeding kids, and the food industry, they're not stupid. They get called a lot. I was reading an article in the New York Times recently. They're calling out these food companies, cereal companies, to please voluntarily cut back on the sugar content in foods for children. They're not doing it. I'll tell you why they're not doing it. The almighty dollar. And parents and grandparents, listen to me. Kids are very intelligent, really intelligent. It needs to start with you. It needs to start with you. Why am I having bacon and eggs in the morning? Why am I having sausages and no toast? Kids are smart. You know, they look, they watch, and say, well, you know, just a little conversations. I used to have many conversations with children in the office. I had probably over the years, thousands, I mean not hundreds, thousands of children with ADD and ADHD. I had many children on the spectrum of autism. And they were just a boing, a boing, a boing, a boing. They were in trouble all the time. They couldn't focus. And I can understand the teachers, you know, like you got a kid that's bouncing off walls. And I had to give them a nutrition 101 with their parents. Yeah, but he doesn't like. I said, let me talk to Joe myself. Now, Joe or Susie, you like being in trouble? Nope. Can I tell you what makes your brain go crazy? Yeah. Sugar. Honey. What? Yeah. When you eat sugar, sugar's not good for anybody. You empty out your 5 liters of blood, and you'll find less than a teaspoon in there of sugar. That's how toxic sugar is. But you, my friend, I'm pretend you're one of my patients, okay? I kid. But you, my friend, you do not do well with sugar. Your brain, you're the little canary in the coal mine. And I would tell them the story of the miners in the the late 1800s and early 1900s, and they go underground, and they didn't know if there was methane gas there or not. They brought canaries with them. The canary died. They got out of there. I said, you happen to be the canary in the coal mine. You're hypersensitive to sugar. And I'm not telling you you can never have it again. I won't do that. But I want you to start your day. I want you to start your day, because that's going to be the most important part of your eating, is to start your day and avoid sugar. Can you do that? It's the only way to stay out of trouble, and it's the only way they're not going to give you Ritalin and sedate you to death. I used to talk to a lot of teachers. I did a lot of school board events, nutritionally. And I used to tell teachers, under no circumstances, zero, nada, none, should a child ever be medicated for ADD or ADHD or bad behavior. Never, 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 never should be medicated. Why? Because that's not fixing the problem. You're sedating them. To me, that's child abuse. You don't sedate children. You fix it with their diet. And then I would tell them the story of, you know what kids are eating? And, teachers, it's not their fault. I said, they're having dessert at home before they get to school. Now, every parent knows, every grandparent knows, you don't give kids sugar at night when you're sending them home or they're going to bed. You don't give them sugar. They're going to be off the walls. I said, these kids, that's what they're eating. Now, this has been going on for a long time. Cereal's been around for a long time. And I was always against it. Because I said, you think you're getting away with that, but you're not getting away with it, especially children that have focus problems. Big time. And I'm going to tell you something. There's no doubt in my mind that when you get adults that are bipolar, schizophrenic, I tell you, it's a nutrition problem at the base of it. It's not a lack of medication. It's a lack of nutrients. And one of the worst things you can do for your brain is start your day with sugar. That is one of the worst things you can do, is start your day with sugar. You don't need it. Now look, if you're going to have I've talked to you about bananas and fruit, but I'd rather a kid have some fruit. Not that I think it's that great, but I'd rather a kid have fruit than give them cereal. But the other issue is this. It's the coming tsunami that's already hit, by the way. We're just going to hear the effect and see the effect of this, and that is kids and diabesity. You like that word? Diabesity. Coming and already here in a theater near you. And I'm telling you guys, every chronic disease is going to have some link to diabesity. These kids are being damaged for life. Their livers, their blood vessels, their brains. It's a terrible thing. And it bothers me. Our world is so upside down, they throw kids under the bus. They throw kids under the bus. And you know, as a parent and as a grandparent and as a great-grandparent, kids, like I've lived my life. I'm more interested in those kids down the road, my grandchildren, my great-grandchildren. Here we are in 2022, and we still, I go to the grocery store and I can, you know, I thank God we can go to the grocery store. But I can't handle it. How people fill their carts with complete lack of nutrition, getting ready to give kids, especially, dessert for breakfast. Guys, that bothers me big time. I was telling someone the other day that a doctor, okay, I said, when a doctor, you know, when they see kids, they want them to grow this way, okay, vertically. Yeah, I want to see them growing, okay? I love that. I watch my grandchildren, and I mean, they grow like weeds. But I don't want to see them growing horizontally, getting big this way, if you know what I mean. Yeah, good to be taller, but you don't want to be struggling with fatty liver. Children with fatty liver, I never thought in my lifetime I would ever see it. And in my last 10 years of practice, I tell you, I saw fatty liver in children. It was a scourge on our society. Poor kids, they didn't even know. Heading for the cliff as far as their health is concerned. Heading for a lifetime of taking medications to treat high blood pressure and to treat high blood sugar. And the answer is right in food. So let us, you and I, let's go out and educate. To the ones who will listen, you can bring a horse to water, you can't make them drink it. If you can turn them on, kids are not stupid. Like I said, it's amazing. Kids can listen even to a podcast and they can get the big picture very quickly. If they did nothing else and cut back on sugar, it would be huge. And I could have spent a whole session here talking about the food industry and how they got, 100 names, different names for sugar. And you know what it is, guys? You know what it is? It's all crap. It's all fructose, high fructose corn syrup. Just, they give it different names. They get away with it. It bothers me. But they're not using, let's just give them real good sugar. Well, there's not many, but that's not what they're doing. They're using high fructose corn syrup. And that is a whole other story of how bad that Frankenstein sugar is. I'm telling you guys, it's one of the reasons we see so much mental problems in kids. So much emotional. I know there's a lot of other factors, but nutrition is an essential part of brain and emotional health. Nutrition is important. Don't feed your kids dessert for breakfast, is the moral of the story. Okay. Now, you know what tomorrow is? Question and Answer Friday. So it's not too late. Get your questions in. We're going to answer as many questions as we can tomorrow. Okay? I put on my tracksuit. They don't say that anymore, did they? For Fridays, okay? Because I know I got to run and get to all the questions. I look forward to it, by the way. It reminds me of my radio days. Live. No screen calls. People call in, Doc, what do you think about this or that or whatever, right? And no chance to prepare or whatever. Hey, you know what? It kept me on my toes. Okay, we're looking forward to that. Okay, we love you guys. We'll talk to you soon.